Hey guys, together. One together.
Stronger for them.
Mr. Cooper.
Mark, that smile! Guys, right here, please. Mark, this racer!
Mark, that's fine.
Mark!
No, that's not weird.
Together, straight ahead, Chris Cowboy. Chris!
Chris to the right. To the right, three. Over your shoulder. He's close to the right.
I don't want to see anything because the humps and
Your road. Mr. Right, sir. Hold to the right. I think this one time right here. Thank you.
Straight ahead, right here.
Lydia, look up.
Sit in front. Sit in front. Karen, when was it?
That's smart. Turn it out. Straight ahead. Over to the left. Over to the left. Come on, right. Use it. Right leg.
Move it. Over the shoulder, Gwen.
Josh is there. Josh together, Josh. Right here.
Hello.
Andy, right here, sir.
Hello.
Elizabeth,
And right
face up this way for us. Elizabeth. Chris.
Right down here, sir. Right here, sir.
Benedict.
Yes, sir. Ray, can we get you
Benedict, come on, let's wait for Benedict. Benedict.
Benedict. Face off.
Straight
Straight ahead, please, Evangeline. Straight ahead. And that gorgeous smile there.
Evangeline right here. Hey, Evangeline. Evangeline for us, please.
Touch your lip.
That's smile, that's smile.
Sorry, right here, please. Joey, big smile. Joey.
Together, guys, together.
Together.
He's so down.
Oh, that gorgeous smile there. It is on that.
Right here, box.
She's very good.
Stand on the left, please.
Stand on your left.
Mr. Diesel, sir. Then look up.
Man on your left.
Man on the left.
Yes, down the line.
Can we see over the shoulder back of the wrist? Hang on, let her hold it now. Stick the leg
Yes,
out.
down the line. Yes, down the line. Lawrence, look up.
I'll get to everybody.
And then just one time right here. Just one time.
Very needy on the end. Watch out. I'm coming to you.
Ellie, let's go just smile, Ellie.
Ellie, right down here.
Ellie, let's smile. Thank you. Thank you.
And ladies right here, together, guys.
Keep on the left. And just one time right here. Hey, guys.
And gentlemen, when you get there, look up, guys.
Straight over here.
Louis, straight ahead.
Stand up.
Anthony, John, right here. Anthony.
Hi.
Get to your left, sir.
Cody to the right. Cody. Cody, this corner. Cody.
Right here. Okay.
There we go. Guys together. Guys together. Together.
Miss Gillen right here.
Let's smile, Karen. We'll Charlotte. How's the way, Karen? Smile.
Real shoulder.
Smile.
I want a picture with this guy. I want a picture with him.
Can you show us your shirt again? Kevin.
You better hold that shirt open, sir.
Kevin.
Yeah, they've always been great. That's the best thing about Marvel. They have this kind of baked-in-the-cake fan base because of the amazing work that came before these films. So it's a double-edged sword. You have this wonderful fan base, but you also have the pressure to make sure you satisfy the people whose taste is from the source material. So you can't deviate too much, and they deserve that allegiance.
It's a family. Yeah, it's a family through and through. Everybody was really nice. I don't know. I had a really good time. Excited to see what the future holds, and I have no idea what will happen next, but I'm excited to find out tonight when I watch the movie for the first time.
Marvel has kind of set a standard where look, a lot of times you make movies and you don't know how it's going to turn out. With Marvel, we become a little too accustomed to knowing it's going to be good. It's just a matter of how good.
We've done a big loop of the world. Left Australia, came here, went to London, then went across to Asia, then went back to Australia quickly, and then here we are. So, and this is it. This is the wrap up. Oh, it's fantastic. None of us have seen it either, so I think we have the same enthusiasm and excitement as the fans do to see it. And a lot of us have been working on this for close to 10 years now, and 22, 23 films or something. And so, yeah, it's pretty special, and once in a career, once in a lifetime opportunity, and just trying to, soak up every moment, enjoy it, and as I said, very excited to see the film because I didn't even read the script, let alone see the film. So. This whole experience is a dream for most of us, and without the fans, none of it would be possible. And so, to still have that kind of enthusiasm is pretty special. We took a big swing in this one, and it was kind of left everything on the table, and we all wanted to do something unique and something different and something fresh, and that was my certainly goal, personally, and I think we're all pretty proud of what we've done, and excited for people to see it, obviously.
It's 10 years, 22 movies, and it feels like an enormous amount of work that's culminated to this final moment, this end game, and it feels like the beginning of something and the end of something else. And it's an interesting transitional time, and I really, it's funny even talking to the Russos about this. They always say they're like, we needed to kind of bring this to a close. We needed this chapter to close. We needed to give people a cathartic experience, and I'm hoping that's what we get tonight. I think it will be, but the fans are amazing. I mean, I met a fan the other day who I'd met through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Bridget, and she was like, I started watching these movies when I was 6 and now I'm 15. And she was like this beautiful young woman. She's like, I grew up with you playing this character, and it was so meaningful for her, the character's journey, and it reflected her own journey of self-discovery. And, that's what you get with this kind of franchise. It really is, meaningful for people, and these characters are reflective of the audience's own experience of self-discovery, and that's just awesome.
It's impossible for us to not have a sense of excitement and nervousness and pride and gratitude.
All I know is he and the other Avengers are on a text thread that is used multiple times a day.
Yeah.
That is a family.
It will never be shut down, that text thread. And it should never be observed because we're out of our minds. But what it really is a thing of love and respect and support for each other. And also genuinely, we're fans. I mean, the reason this has been such a great adventure, and speaking of kids and family, so many of us have all started families since even the first Iron Man. I mean, we got our youngsters and everyone's here, and now they just got to watch all the movies.
Yeah, just the excitement and the feedback from the first film was major, right?
Yeah, that was
So
exciting.
just to see this follow up to it, I'm kind of excited to see if they're gonna if it's gonna pull through.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how things connect and how they recover from what we ended with last movie.
Yeah.
I don't understand where we go with that. But someone does.
Yeah, the Russos do.
The Russos
And we should
do.
just lock them in a room and get all the information so we know what to...
Before the premiere.
Yeah, so we know what to say at interviews like this.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm just really fresh to the Marvel universe, but to see people do the cosplays and really be passionate about it, it's something that I'm enjoying already. But you've been in this for you've been OG. You're an OG Avenger.
I'm not OG, but I'm 6. I'm 6 years in, I think.
6 years. That's OG levels.
I think we make these movies for fans. These movies they're made by fans and made for fans. It's nice when people say nice things about the movie, but you really just want the fans to be excited and just emotional and just totally into whatever it is we're putting out. So it's for them.
It's a pretty epic moment. I think the world is waiting, and we're here to deliver one way or another. It's bittersweet, It's I think we all, it's been a great ride, and we've been really blessed, but it's coming to an end. I was talking to a friend of mine about going to see movies with our families, and how movies are such an important part of our family life and bonding us. And, that's what's happened at these movies for, it's 22 movies now. And people really have an emotional connection to it. And it brings people together in this really divided time, and storytelling transcends all of that and reminds us of our common humanity, and we have the best fans in the world. It's a journey, the film, and it goes to a lot of surprising places. And it has a lot of pathos and a lot of humor and a lot of action.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, just being out there with the fans, that energy, their love for this franchise and for this story. And so, they're so excited to see it happen and see it go down and get this chapter. And I mean, it's really beautiful. Just to be a part of it is surreal. It's always really thrilling to be around everybody and to sort of, it's all celebration at this point. So yeah, I love seeing everybody. It is kind of family, so it is really beautiful. I mean, there's just such amazing people in this group of people, and that you go to work every day, and not only are you a little starstruck every day, but then you're also befriending some of the coolest, most down-to-earth, great folks ever, and it's really, and you're getting to do such fantastic epic storytelling all at the same time. So it is pretty fantastic. You really can't dream of more,
Yeah, the greatest thing, the takeaway out of this for me personally, and for a handful of us for sure, after a decade of spending a lot of time with each other, and there's been marriages and divorces and kids that come along through that decade, and it's the friendships that have been built because of the MCU, and with the A6 especially, it's a very tight crew, and I get to walk away well after this is gone and still hold wonderful friendships with a lot of amazing people.
It's amazing to me how much these movies mean to the fans, and it's very wonderful to be a part of it. And I've never been a part of something that resonates so deeply with people and all across the globe. And to be able to reach this many people and bring stories of inspiration, even to be a small part of it, is really an impactful thing, and I'm very grateful. When we did the first Iron Man movie, I don't think people had any concept of what it would bear, and so Jon Favreau and Robert Downey and myself were kind of privy to the very early naissance of this whole universe, and so, it's been so wonderful to kind of collect people along the way and watch the family grow. And then we got Scarlett in the second one, and Don Cheadle, and it just kind of went on, and it does feel like a family. I think we always feel really happy when we get to see each other, and a lot of us are friends outside of the MCU.
Just the excitement of tonight. I can't believe that it's finally here. We're going to see the movie. We all woke up this morning, my whole family, thought, we're going to see this thing finally today. I've been traveling the world with some of these other guys, and none of us know exactly what's going to happen. So all of those questions will be answered a few hours from now. It is an incredible experience to, be on stage with 8,500 screaming people that are such diehard Marvel fans and Avengers fans, and last week we were in Shanghai, and it was really an experience I wish everyone could have at least once in their life, to hear that kind of cheering and feel that kind of passion about something. It was a cool thing to be a part of. I'm excited for audiences to experience this culmination of 22 films, and to kind of see where this thing has landed and have this satisfying, emotional, and roller coaster ride of an experience. And I can't wait until audiences discover it.
I feel elated, I feel excited, I feel relieved that it's finally going out into the world, and maybe I'm not going to have to harbour all of these spoilers that are just living in my mind. I'm excited to see the reaction, because I think it's going to be unexpected and pretty thrilling, and certainly satisfying for the Marvel fans who have followed this journey for the last 10 years. I mean, this is 22 movies and it's all been leading to this moment. Like, truly, it's going to be an extremely satisfying experience for any Marvel fan. It's just the best part of the job, in all honesty. Like, to make these movies is really fun, but then to be able to give them to the fans who are so passionate about everything that you're doing, that's what makes it really cool. And so all we want to do is deliver for the fans, and that is the driving force behind all of this.
Oh man, you can really feel it. I mean, the excitement is in the air. It's palpable. Everybody is so thrilled and dying to really see this film, and I'm one of those people. I'm just can't wait to go sit down and get my popcorn ready and see how Endgame unfolds. The fans mean everything to all of us. I mean, the fans are unreal. They're so full of passion and vigor and excitement and knowledge and know-how, and trying to impress them is all of our top goal every single day we go to set. You know, and they have a high bar for success. You know, they have a high bar, high expectations, and it's a constant struggle to try to meet them and surpass them. Marvel's somehow done it every step of the way, and we're so thrilled and so lucky to have that fan base. I mean, they're outside right now dressed as Star-Lord, dressed as the Guardians of the Galaxy, or dressed as the Avengers. They've been out there for hours all day, and they're just full of joy. It's really exciting and fun for them, you know, and it's so fun for us to get to just meet those folks and look them in the eye and say, like, wow, this is really cool.
It's very exciting. I'm a fan here, so I'm dressed in these colours to sort of, to be respectful of my fallen others and myself, I guess, and watch what happens. Well, the fans kind of make this, this is what it's all about, and more than anything else, you hope that they're going to be happy with the end result and the end game.
Well, that is definitely nostalgic in a way, because if you think about it, for 10 years, we've been here. I was just on my way over here, I was just thinking about how in 2011 I was on my way here for the first premiere I was ever involved in, and it's crazy. It really is. Like, it is a family, because you come back together again and again after, like, a year goes by, everybody goes off, works on different projects. People, some have kids grow up, and then we kind of like get back together again and sort of check in with each other, and it never feels like any time has gone by.
Yeah, 22 movies. It's a little bit odd, and I didn't, in the beginning there was a sense that if we messed one up, we would be in trouble. Certainly the first one didn't feel like a guarantee by any stretch. But then, thanks to Kevin and everyone that executed and brought fresh vision and voices and inspiration and creativity to it, wonderful casting choices, wonderful people behind the camera, it's become like a big group effort. And so to be the one that kicked the ball off and to see this is really surreal.
It's amazing. It's been a long road for everybody involved in making this movie. So yeah, this is an enormous moment for all of us. The fact that people are anticipating it so much is a thrill, and for Joe and I think we just can't wait to just show the movie and get it over with.
I mean, it's great. It's hard answering questions for the last 3 weeks that you can't answer. So now we're going to be able to talk about it, as Ann said, and we're excited. We started in India with
the first time ever for a Marvel movie.
Yeah. First fan event, I think, in India ever. It was amazing. Then we went to Vegas for CinemaCon, LA to do the LA junket. Then we flew to London for a huge fan event, Seoul, Korea, Shanghai, where we had 9,000 people come out for a fan event, and then back here for the premiere. So we don't know what time zone we're in.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no better reminder about like how important these movies are for everybody, and it's like we care so deeply about them. To see that other people are responding at that level as well is really inspiring and exciting.
I mean, you can never anticipate any of that stuff. All we can do is focus really hard on making the best movie that we can, telling the best story that we can, the one that excites us the most, and then hopefully the audience is as excited about it as we are. And so the fact that they responded that way is fantastic, and really makes us happy.
Exactly. We've come so far, it's hard to actually put a specific name to it, but it's just, for Joe and I, it's just like, again, when we make these movies, we have to use ourselves as the barometer for how they're playing and what we feel about them, what we think about them, to finally to be at the moment where we can actually like turn it over to an audience and let them tell us what the movie is. That's the most exciting moment for a filmmaker. So really, I think we're just looking forward to the audiences telling us what the movie is for them.
Honestly, it's overwhelming. I think we say that at every premiere. This is overwhelming. Because the truth is, every time I'm at a premiere, up to this point, I've had 3 other movies in my head knowing where we were heading. That they were all chapters in the overall story that we were eventually going to bring to a conclusion. Tonight, we bring it to a conclusion. Tonight, I feel like I've actually finished the big, long, giant story that we started nearly 12 years ago with the first Iron Man film. So it's emotional, it's overwhelming, and as always at these things, I just want people to see the movie. I can't wait for them to finally see the ending. These movies exist because of a lot of people. Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, right? This movie doesn't exist without them. They created everything. The writers, the artists who have worked over the years interpreting and reinterpreting these amazing characters. The directors, not just Joe Russo and Anthony Russo, who have done more MCU films than anybody else, including Infinity War, now Endgame, but all of the filmmakers that helped add tiles into this mosaic. But out of all those, it's the fans. Because if the fans hadn't come to see the movies, if the fans haven't rallied behind a interconnected, multi-picture overall arc, then we wouldn't have been able to do it. So on this press tour, really seeing the fans and thanking the fans, and outside today, hundreds of them, and they're saying thank you to all of us, and the truth is, thank them, because this movie wouldn't exist in the way that it exists without them coming with us film after film after film and growing and building into I think, the biggest and best fan base on the face of the earth. There's almost too much in this film to get excited for people to see. How different it is, how unique it is, what a tonally unique movie it is from Infinity War and from our other films, and really just to see, particularly for our fans, 21 movies pay off in a single film. And that's what I'm most excited for them to see, and that's what I'm hoping that they are satisfied with that payoff.
It does not even feel real, I gotta tell you, because it's a different venue, so I'm a little thrown out a bit of we are in a different place. It all feels so ginormous, even the ceilings, everything feels big, but we're so happy that people get a chance to see what we have known for so long, and it's special. It's special. That's all it's hard. I can't say much, but I can tell you that. We've traveled it around the world, 9,000 fans in China, one of their biggest live events that we've done. The cast is tired but is ready, and listen, I'm hoping people show up with the same love and devotion that they have before. We love this movie. This movie is truly special to us.
We dropped such a big bomb in the last movie by ending it that way that it's almost like people aren't asking questions. They're still kind of in shock and hurt and injured, and they're just looking for hope. And we can only go, yeah, sure, you'll feel better.
Rarely
You'll feel
look
better.
to us for hope.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm a little speechless because I don't really know how to react right now. It's just like the bottle of energy ready to just burst. So I think as soon as the lights go down and everybody's seated and they're ready to watch the movie is when I finally can go, finally, but especially when the movie's over and I can finally talk about it, because it's been 4 years of, hitting up like bottled up energy that I'm ready to just like burst open. So I'm really excited. Well, this is actually the first time we were doing it at the LA Convention Center, so this is beautiful how everything is set up right here. So we've never done anything like that, and we wanted to make Avengers Endgame special, for everybody. So, over a decade worth of Marvel movies, this is the 22nd Marvel film, and we wanted to really close this chapter of the MCU and do it at a special place like this. Not to spoil the film, I think it's really just, I'm going to be turning around left and right just to see everybody's reaction in almost every scene, because there's a lot of good stuff in each sequence and a lot of character moments that I'm dying for people to really see.
Yes, we are bringing the Endgame. In many respects, this represents the end of a chapter in the canon that is Marvel. Not the end of the book, but the end of a chapter. And I think one of the most exciting, certainly one of the most successful in the history of the motion picture business. So it's quite an exciting event. Well, I think that's what's most exciting about tonight, is instead of it being in a relatively contained space, this is cavernous, and it gives us an opportunity to bring in not only everybody that touched a Marvel movie in terms of cast and crew, but a lot of fans as well. And that makes it really a great night.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the cast and filmmakers of Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame.
Hi there, here's today's Daily Fact. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is such a huge franchise that in just over 10 years, the box office earnings go way over $17 billion in total. After all, the creators of this world made 20 films, the highest grossing being Black Panther and the lowest The Incredible Hulk at a mere $263 million. Remember to click below to subscribe or on the side for more great content.